There were so many stars in this movie. How is this movie even able to afford all of them?
Ronto, Kilimanjaro can buy me a bucket of chicken.
I'm gonna M-Cash you the money. No, what's that your M-Cash code again?
Fair enough.
Welcome back to Iroko Critic.
Critics with receipts.
I'm Mrs. Critic.
And I'm Mr. Critic.
And today we're going to be reviewing Lara and the Beat.
When their glamorous lifestyle comes to a screeching halt, two sisters, Lara and Dara, must try to rebuild their fortunes through music and enterprise.
Okay, this movie. Let's do it. This story is not a typical big-budget Nollywood heist or love movie. And I know that's not saying much, but it's nice to see Nollywood put money into a different story.
This movie had a lot of effort in it. Good lord, most of the shots are long shots that go on for a while, and sometimes moving from room to room without cutting. This actually takes a lot of work and behind the scenes planning to pull off, so kudos to them.
Now last week, Mr. C ruined some of our Nollywood viewing experience with his orange and teal lecture.
Feel it!
But the colours in this movie were really pretty for the most part. We got a full range of colours, and even when the film did the orange and teal look, they used lighting and not just that, let's do it in post attitude.
There were some decent performances from a lot of the musicians. Vector probably doing the best as Lara's love interest, Sal, aka Mr. Beats.
I got you.
Wait, are you sure this isn't a love story?
Just a little bit.
We also thought Sam Keller did well and she had good chemistry with Shay, and it was easy to buy that they were sisters.
So, like we said, this isn't a typical Nollywood big budget heist or love story. For the most part, Okay, we're done with this section. It's time for the bad. If I were to guess, this movie wants to show how a spoiled, annoying, raw talent girl in Lara becomes a more rounded, more refined talent.
Babe!
But the problem is, I'm guessing. I don't know for sure, and that's because of how many plots the movie is juggling and how much the writing is trying to do. We have Lara's development as a music artist.
Give me my dough! Give me my dough!
There's the sisters' homeless situation.
We're homeless, in case you don't know.
There's Lara's first love life.
There's Lara's second love life.
Nothing is real!
We have the problem with the business and fraud.
Tax fraud?
Then there's Mr. Beats' backstory.
There's Lara's bitch attitude.
I know I can be obnoxious.
Dara's love for the arts.
There's a movie I'm doing, and this time around, I'm gonna make it about mom and dad.
It just tried to do so much, and what we got was bloated and disjointed. Some parts worked and others didn't, and the parts that worked were sometimes connected to the parts that didn't, so you can't even enjoy the parts that worked without jamming the parts that didn't work. Confused?
So I'm confused.
That's kind of how this film feels.
One of the main issues is Lara.
I hate you.
Shay is good at portraying a spoiled, obnoxious, rude person. The performance lacks subtlety.
Oh! It's like you. Ugh, for God's sake.
It's baby!
I only know how to be a bratty rich girl.
We needed the director to tell her to turn it down a bit.
Just a little bit.
She was meant to have this arc where she stopped being spoiled. The problem is, it's difficult to know whether she's less spoiled or she just doesn't have I'm spoiled money to showcase how awful she is. This arc isn't even deserved. Like her arc from terrible singer to good singer.
Feel like it's all my fault.
What made her change? Lack of AC?
There's no AC!
Maybe it's the suffering that is bringing out the talent in her.
Yeah, but didn't her parents pass? That didn't bring out any deep talents, but lack of AC did.
Are you saying I should be singing about my dead parents or something?
It was difficult to care for her, and that's a problem because her name is in the movie title. She is our protagonist, but she was just an annoying brat.
I know I can be obnoxious.
Also, the production in this is inconsistent. While we stand by the efforts and ambition that was put into the film, some of the production was really weird and unnecessary.
The computer graphics reign was weird and unnecessary.
The blue tinting of the sky is just... why? Really, it costs energy and money to do this, and it just looks bad. Just leave it alone. Even the carrying of camera up and down was borderline headache inducing and nauseating. Usually the handheld technique is meant to give a bit or a lot of uncertainty or edge.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're having some slight problems and the pilot has been forced to make a descent. We may have to make an emergency landing. Oh my God.
But I'm not sure why this technique was used for most of the film. It made for some awkward shots like having to avoid mirrors.
Don't be silly now.
This film is 2 hours 20 minutes and I don't think that runtime is justified. I mean, this movie could have been like an hour shorter if we just took out all the drone shots.
Lara was actually one of the most mature and morally decent characters in this film. And this movie treats her like she's a problem. Oh, you like silent black and white movies? Well, that's horrible and boring and nobody wants to watch it.
Just stay, okay? See, I'll take 50% off your meal.
And we can save it with Nigerian music.
Dara is doing this silent film thing?
Yes, she is. And
That's
look,
what this is about.
yes, and she needs some music.
Because music is the best. No wonder so many Nigerian musicians are in this. I particularly take issue with this because some of the best films I've seen are silent black and white films. No Nollywood movie maker with any percentage of their sanity can claim they have done anything as great as some of Charlie Chaplin's finest work. By the way, if you want to start watching a black and white silent movie that is pretty good and definitely better than this movie, watch Charlie Chaplin's City Lights. I didn't even talk about the continuity errors in this film, but I'm tired already. Let's just wrap this up.
Overall, there are some technical things to appreciate about this movie. It's not the worst big budget Nollywood film out there, but it's not a film we would recommend, and that's not a diss.
This isn't a diss, this is truth. Listen.
Thanks for watching this review. Let us know if you've seen the movie below. Give it a like as it helps us, and we will see you next Sunday. Take care and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Tell me, Towns, Benny, do run out.